I'm Sara Azari, NewsNation legal analyst and criminal trial attorney, also the host of Serving Justice on NewsNation Digital. So I just got here a little late to the game, but better late than never, to the courthouse where Diddy's trial is underway. And I followed the testimony today. Of course, there's no cameras in the courtroom, but I have followed the transcripts and the reporting. And it was very interesting to me, having tried dozens of these cases, and I have a few pending right now. She testifies to a very coercively controlled relationship. There's a lot of violence. There is a lot of coercion. And of course, these go to the sex trafficking charge. She touched on the criminal enterprise for the racketeering charge. And by the way, for people who go, what does domestic violence have to do with this? Or what does, the dragging have to do with this? It goes to kidnapping, it goes to domestic violence, which are predicate acts for the racketeering charge, which is the big deal wild card for the prosecution here. So she laid all of that out. But wait for it. When the defense gets up to cross-examine, I expect them to really get into, if no means no, then yes means yes, which is my line. If you had autonomy, they're going to look at the things that she was able to do, including date other men, while she was with Diddy. They're going to look into her days, her weeks, her months, her years during that relationship, and to be able to show that this was perfectly consensual adult relations. The idea that, this was maybe freaky, or at some point, I think these jurors were really disgusted today when the testimony came about with the urination in her mouth. Yeah, it's disgusting. It might not be your thing, but it's not a crime, right? So what I expect from the defense is exactly the opposite of coercion, that this was all consensual, that she signed up for this, that she admitted on the stand in her own words in testimony that, she was hanging out with Diddy because it was a big deal to be a part of his entourage, to be able to kick off her career through him. And so maybe she got some gigs that the defense is going to elicit on cross-examination. Maybe there were things that, helped her career. I know it didn't take off, but there's probably something there. So I expect a lot of text messages, emails. She testified about an email today where she had emailed Diddy with the subject line, something like, I want to, or F me, or I want to F you, or something like that. So this is going to get interesting. And I think but for that damning video, which is such a death knell in this case, I don't think the prosecution could meet their burden beyond a reasonable doubt. But we'll see. I expect a very, very strong cross-examination. And it's a tough job because I've had to do it. Let me tell you, she's sympathetic, she's an abuse victim, and she's pregnant, and she's emotional. So the defense has to elicit all of this while also not going too hard on her, because they're going to look like jerks, frankly. That's all I got today. I'll be back here tomorrow with more on the Diddy trial.